Hello, my name is Alejandro Ramirez Limas. I am the solutions architect for the solicitation management system sponsored by the Washington State Department of Commerce. In this video, we will be showcasing an invoice management portal connected to the contracts that have been assigned to winning applicants. Once an applicant is assigned a contract, he or she will be able to view their contracts by pressing My Contracts from the applicant's portal. Once this page opens, it will take them to the Contract Management and Invoicing module. From here, the applicant will be able to track invoices, submit expenses, and view payment process. To get started, the applicant will simply press Get Started. Once this page loads, the applicant will be able to see any and all contracts that have been assigned to them. So we're going to view the RFQQ prototype. From here, what will happen is that the applicant can press Invoices, and it will see all invoices attached to this particular contract. Also, from this list, they will be able to see the name of the RFX, the RFX number, the contract end date, the contract completed percentage, how much has been invoiced, and the status of their last invoice. Now, once they press Invoices, the applicant will be taken to the contract invoices page where they will be able to see the status of the contract. So in this case, we're going to view what's happening with the last contract that was submitted, and it says it's processing. So from here, any contract that gets created will afford the applicant the opportunity to either edit the line items, edit a schedule of value if one is available, edit expenses, or send for processing. So we will start with edit line items. What happens here is that the applicant will be able to add line items that they will be invoicing for. They will be able to enter when the item was delivered, what was the product or service that was delivered, the description, the quantity, the price per unit, and then taxes will be automatically calculated for them. So if the service was delivered at a certain zip code, then that particular zip code will be used to calculate taxes. So what we will do next is view the schedule of values. So from here, what the applicant can do is they can press the drop-down menu and choose Edit Schedule of Values. So when they edit the schedule of values, if there is a schedule of values within this contract, they will be able to edit the information here. So what happens is that most of the information will be automatically pre-filled except for the percentage completed. So if the applicant completes 80% of the contract and they haven't billed anything, then this will be at 0 and this will show 80% of the cost. Now, because they have already billed $50,000 towards the $60,000 and they completed 95%, then this shows that the applicant will have $7,000 to invoice in this application and that the balance to finish is $3,000. This is true for every line in the schedule of values. So all that the applicant will need to do is enter the percentage completed to date, and then everything else will be automatically filled in for them. Next, we will look at expenses. So the way that expenses work is the applicant will be able to enter the line items for every expense, and then they will be able to add documentation for that expense. Any expenses that are going to be sent to Commerce will have the paper receipts that Commerce can then review and then either approve or reject. Once all of this is completed, the applicant will simply press Submit. What will happen after the applicant presses Submit is that they will be able to see the full invoice. So within the full invoice, they'll be able to see the due date of the invoice total, as well as anything that has been added. So what happens here is that at the very top, they'll be able to see products and services. Then the next section will be the schedule of values, if there is one. And then the last section will be refundable expenses. All of this together make up the invoice total. So what happens here is that once the applicant is satisfied with this invoice, they can send it for approval. To do so, all the applicant has to do is press Send for Processing. Once the applicant sends the invoice for processing, the invoice status will change to processing, and then as the program manager takes action on that invoice, this status will update. So the way that this works is the coordinator or program manager will receive a notification to let them know that there is an invoice that needs to be processed. They will go to active contracts, and here they will see that there is an invoice that has an action pending. Once the program manager opens the My Active Contracts page, given the notification that they received, they will be able to go to active invoices for the notification that they're looking at. So now what happens here is that under active invoices, they will be able to view all of the invoices related to that contract. So here, what they can do is they can view the full invoice that was submitted, and they can see if there are items that are not allowed, so they can reject it, or if everything is okay with the invoice, they can send it forward. In order to do so, they can simply press accept and send to accounting, which will let them know that they can start this workflow, or they can reject it and return it to the contractor, which means that they will run the workflow to reject the invoice and then send it to the contractor. What this does is it creates a unified platform that gives both the program manager and the vendor an opportunity to utilize the same language when they're communicating in relation to invoices. And this will allow for efficiency and productivity, reducing the number of hours used for invoicing, both for the commerce program manager as well as the contractor completing the work. And this concludes our video presentation. Thank you for watching.